All right, so what we're going to talk about today is another kind of factoring trinomials, so the ones that have three terms. And it's focusing on where a is greater than 1. So basically, so earlier we did ones where it was just like x squared plus or minus like something and plus something. Now we're going to have an a value. So let's write down, so we've got a x squared plus bx plus c. So that's kind of the layout. So when we use this method is when we have an a value that's not a greatest common factor. So we use the method that we're going to do today. We use this method when there is an a value. Oh man, it's like, hold on, jumping and changing colors on me. And
when there is an a value that what?
That isn't a greatest common factor, isn't a GCF. That isn't a GCF. Greatest common factor. All right, so we're going to factor, example A. We're going to factor 2x squared plus x minus 6. So what I like to do until I get really used to this method is I'd like to identify my a, my b, and my c. So a is the number in front of x squared, so a is 2. B is the number in front of x. So tell me what's in front of x?
2x. I mean x squared.
Yeah, that was the 2, but just what's in front of just this x here?
Nothing.
There's an invisible thing.
1.
Yeah, 1. That sneaky invisible 1. And then c is negative 6. Okay. So step 1 is that I'm going to multiply a and c. So I'm going to multiply 2 times negative 6. And I get negative 12. Okay. So step 2. Okay, so step 2 is that I'm going to find I would just say find two numbers that multiply to get that AC combo that we just did. And so this case it's negative 12, but I'm just kind of writing a generic step here. What two numbers that multiply to get that A times C combo and add to get B. So it's really similar in kind of the concept to the other factoring trinomials, but we have this step ahead that is multiplying the A and the C. So,
Wait,
Not quite.
Negative 12.
So, okay, so
Wait, do
you're,
we add B to A times C, or do we find a number that adds to B?
adds to get B. Yeah. Thank you. Let me rephrase that. That is a little. Oh, dang it! It won't let me erase it. I hate it when it does that. So yeah. So adds. Let me kind of correct that. And adds to get B. Okay.
You said and adds to get D together, right?
And then I just didn't write it. Okay. Thanks. So just to kind of like show some thought process, and sometimes making this table is just what you need to do. So what I like to do is make a little table that this side is what multiplies to negative 12. And on this side, I want to check to see if it adds to get 1. So I'm going to put add to 1 with like question mark. Just like, does it actually do that? So Devin, you were throwing out some combos there. You were like, all right, 1 and 12, and like you're like, wait, but one of them needs to be negative, but that would give me negative 11, so that doesn't work. And then even if I make the 12, the negative 1 positive, and the 12, that still gives me positive 11, so that's not it. So what are some other things to multiply to get 12? 6 and 2. Okay, so
4 and 3.
yeah, exactly. So that would give me 4, which that doesn't quite work. If I make the 6 negative, that would give me negative 4. So still not. So yeah, 4 and 3 is the last combo, and 4 and 3 will work. So which one needs to be negative though?
3.
Yes, 3. Good. So we need a positive 4, a negative 3. There's my 1. So that's the combo that I need. Again, this is something I would probably have you guys just like do in your head. I'm just writing it out to show you that it can be visual if you need that, okay? So what we do now that we have that combo is step number 3 is we're gonna replace B with that combo. Replace B with that combo. Okay, so what that's going to look like is I'm going to have, my 2x squared. And so instead of b, I'm going to put this plus 4x minus 3x.
Me in parentheses?
Eventually I will, yeah. But for right now, I don't have to. So really what I'm doing, let me see if I can fit this all on the screen. Dang it, I can't. Okay, but so see this 4 and negative 3? So if I was to add those back together, it would get me 1. And that's back to my original equation. So really what I'm doing is I'm just kind of messing with this.
The reverse.
Exactly. I'm pulling it apart so I can undo this stuff and like revert it. Exactly. So now that I've got these 4 terms, what do we do when we have 4 terms to factor? Exactly, we group them. So that's what I want to do, and I'm trying to get a green color. Okay, so I'm going to group it. So that's actually step 4. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I know, sorry. Step 4, factor by grouping. So I'm going to put parentheses. Yeah. I can only get a tip out there. Oh, okay. So put the 4x, and then I can close that parenthesis, and then the negative 3x minus 6. Okay, So factor by grouping. So I need to look at, yeah, good. The greatest common factor between those first two is 2x. So I take out 2x. Oops, 2x. There we go. Yeah, and I'm left with x plus 2.
Next one's -3.
Yep, and I'm left with x plus 2. Okay. So then my final answer.
2x minus 3x plus 2.
Nice. Woo. Okay, so I know that like that took up like a whole page for one problem. We're gonna do the next one in kind of like a more condensed in our heads way, okay? But I like to write out all the steps, so that way if you get lost in the process or you're just not quite sure, you have that first page to go back to, okay?
You have another page in the back.
I do? Okay, good. Excellent. Yeah, so go and flip the page. I want to do one more example with you guys. How much further do you have to? Okay, so let's do this next one in kind of a condensed version here. So example B, let's factor 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. Okay, so step 1 is I'm going to multiply those two. So I need to figure out what multiplies to get 6.
6. 2.
And adds to get whoa, hold on, that was like horrible looking. Because we have to multiply the 3 and the 2. Because there's a number in front of x squared. Oh, multiplies. Oh man, hold on. I apologize. I'm all over the place. Yeah. What multiplies to get 6 and adds to get -5?
So you multiply A and C.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so that's the question going on in my head. So yeah, -3 and -2. So, okay, so first step, I multiply the A and C. I multiply my 3 and 2. Oh, you guys can't see my little, like, there we go. There's my, showing my work a little bit there. Okay. So yeah, so that combo is -2 and -3. So I'm going to plug those in. So those replace that -5. So I'm going to write 3x squared. And then instead of -5, I'm going to put -3x minus 2x plus 2. And just to kind of check myself, -3 plus -2 is -5. So yeah, we're good. Don't combine those back together. You'll just reverse what you just did, or points to pull stuff apart. Okay? So now that I've got, well, actually, hold on, let me pause there. Any questions on how I did what I did or how I wrote it or anything?
Does it, so I just figured out if you do it like 3x2,
Yeah.
3x squared minus 2, does it work? So does it have to be?
It technically does work, it's just way harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would definitely suggest, I purposely put the 3's next to each other and the 2's next to each other. Yeah, so thinking about what has the greatest common factor, and putting those together is handy. Any other questions or comments? All right, so now we need to group it. So now I'm going to throw my parentheses in there. So in the first group, I check for the greatest common factor. So what's the greatest common factor between 3x squared and -3x? 3x, good. So I take out 3x, and I'm left with
1 or 0.
x and -1.
And then 2, -2.
-2, good.
And then x minus 1.
Yep.
3x minus 2, 3x minus 2, and x minus 1.
Yeah, exactly. So our answer is 3x minus 2, x minus 1. And just to put some notes, we'd like to the GCF here to get to there. Or actually, just kidding. I kind of put that on the wrong thing. Oh well. Okay. All right, so that's it. I know I say that like, oh, that was easy. And I know this isn't. So this is going to take just some practice for you guys. Do you want to do another one together, or do you guys want to try on your own? I will take that as a try on your own. Okay, so on page 19, let's see what I gave you guys here. Okay, yeah, I want you guys to just do that front page, those 8 questions. So hopefully you have enough room. I think they're spaced out fairly well. I'm also checking to see, number 8 might have a greatest common factor. Let me just double check that. It does. So 8 is the only one that is like, it's a little bit harder. So if you want to make a little note to yourself that 8 has a greatest common factor on that. And just to let you guys